It doesn't matter why I was there, where the air is sterile and sheets sting. It doesn't matter that I was hooked up to this thing that buzzed and beeped every time my heart leaped, like a man whose faith tells him God's hands are big enough to catch an airplane or a world. It doesn't matter that I was curled up like a fist protesting death, or that every breath was either hard labor or hard time, or that I'm either always too hot or too cold. It doesn't matter because my hospital roommate wears Star Wars pajamas. And he's 9 years old. His name's Lewis, and I don't have to ask what he's got. The bald head with the skin and bones frame speaks volumes. The Game Boy and feather pillow booms like they're trying to make him feel at home because he's gonna be here a while. I manage to smile the first time I see him, and he feels like the biggest liar I've ever told. So I hold my breath because I'm thinking any minute now he's gonna call me on it. I hold my breath because I'm scared of a 57-pound boy hooked up to a machine. Because he's been watching. Maybe I'm getting pegged all wrong. Like maybe he's bionic or something. So I look away. Like I just made eye contact with a gang member who's got a rap sheet the length of a lecture on dumb mistakes politicians have made. I look away like he's gonna give me my life back the moment I got something to trade. I damn near pull out my pack and say, "Cigarette?" But my fear subsides in the moment I realize Lewis is all show and tell. He's got everything from a shotgun shell to a crow's foot, and he can put them all in context. Like, see, this is from a shooting range, and see, this is from a weird girl. I watch his hands curl around the cufflink and a tie tech and realize that every knick-knack is a treasure, and every treasure has a story. And every time I can't handle more, he hits me with another story. He says, "See, this is from my father. See, this is from my brother. See, this is from that weird girl. See, this is from my mother." It took me about 2 days to realize that that weird girl was his sister. And it took him about 2 hours the day after she left for him to figure out he missed her. And they visit every day and stay well past visiting hours because for them that term doesn't apply. And when they do leave, Lewis and I are left alone. And he says, the worst part about being sick is that you get all the free ice cream you can ask for. And he says the worst part about that is realizing there's nothing more they can do for you. He says ice cream can't make everything okay. And there's no easy way of asking, and I already know what he's going to say, but maybe he just needs to say it, so I ask him anyway, "Are you scared?" Lewis doesn't even lower his voice when he says, "Yeah." I listened to a 9-year-old boy say the word like he was a 30-year-old man with a nosebleed being lowered into a shark tank. He's got a right to it. And if it takes this kid a curse word to help him get through it, then I want to teach him to swear like the devil's sitting there taking notes with a pen and pad. But before you can forget that Lewis is a 9-year-old boy, he says, "Please, don't tell my dad." He asked me if I believe in angels. And before I realize that I don't have the heart to tell him, I tell him not lately. And I just lay there waiting for him to hate me. But he doesn't know how to, so he never does. Lewis loves like a man who lived in a time before God gave religion to men and left it to them to figure out what hate was. He never greets me with silence, only smiles and a patience I've never seen in someone who knows they're dying. I'm trying so hard not to remind him that I'll be out of here in a couple of days, smoking cigarettes and taking my life for granted. And he'll still be here, planted in this bed like a flower that refuses to grow. I've been with him for 5 days, and all I really know is that Lewis loves to pull feathers out of his pillow and watch them float to the ground. Almost as if he's a philosopher and every scientist ready to say it's gravity that's been getting us down. The truth is, there's not enough miracles to go around, kid. And there's too many people petitioning God for the winning lotto ticket. And for every answered prayer, there's a cricket with arthritis. And the only reason we can't find the answers is because the search party didn't invite us. And Lewis, right now, the crickets have arthritis. So there's no music. No symphony of nature swelling to crescendos as if ripping halos into melodies that can keep the rhythm with our hearts the way our hearts beat. So we must meet silence with the same level of noise that the parents of dying 9-year-old boys make when they take liberties of talking with heaven. We must shout until we shatter in our own vibrations, then let the lives echo and grow, grow distant. Grow distant enough to know that as far as our efforts go, we don't always get a reply. But I swear to whatever God I can find in the time left, I'm going to remember you, kid. I'm going to tell your story as often as every story you told me, and every time you tell it, I'll say, "See, there's bravery in this world. There's 6.5 billion people curled up like fists protesting death, but every breath we breathe has to be given back. A 9-year-old boy told me that. So hold your breath. the same way you would hold a pen when writing thank you letters on your skin to every tree that gave you that breath to hold, and let it go. As if you understand something about getting old and having to give it back. Let it go like a laugh attack in the middle of really good sex. The black eye will be worth it. But what is your night worth without a story to tell? And why will the world like worth if you've got nothing to sell? People drop pennies down a wishing well, so the cost of the desire is equal to that of a thought. But if you've got expectations, expect others to have bought the exact same dream for the price of a hard work, hang in, hold on mentality. Like I accept any challenge, so challenge me. Like I brought a knife to a gunfight, but the other night I mugged a mountain, so bring that. I've had practice. Lewis and I cracked the world wide open, and found that the prize inside is that we never lied to ourselves, never told ourselves that would be easy or undemanding. So we sing in our own vibrations and dare angels to eavesdrop and stop mid-flight to pluck feathers from their own wings and write demands that God's hands take the time to catch you. So even if God doesn't, it wasn't because we didn't try. I don't often believe in angels, but on the day I left, Lewis pulled a feather from his pillow and said, "This is for you." I half expected him to say, "See, this is the first one I grew."